escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. This Independence Day weekend, kick your party off with a bang. DeWeather Center presents the first annual DeWeather Cares Charity Softball Classic presented by the National Racing Network. The Palmerton Boobies, DeWeather Center Bluecocks, Blue Mountain I-95ers, Pocono Front Platers, Schuylkill County Crackers, Reading Nurses, Catasauqua Blue Tits, and Beltsville Lake Monsters will take the field in Emerald. Find out more on Facebook at DeWeather Center. DeWeather Center, offensively accurate. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another National Racing Network production. This time it is the Indy Pro 2000 Official Series coming to you from Barber Motorsports Park. Qualifications just getting underway. My name is Chris Graham, and I am very happy to see that James Watson is joining me in the booth for this one here tonight. James, a tough break for you there in the Ezra IndyCar race that just finished up, but all in all, a fantastic race there, and we're going to have a pretty good one here at Barber Motorsports Park, too.
Yes, sir. I am completely and utterly disappointment, but I am a consummate professional. I will get through this broadcast amazingly and cry as soon as it's over.
Yes, go back and watch that one. It was an absolutely incredible race. And like we said, we're going to have a pretty good one here as well. Get you a little bit of information here about the race and the championship here. Barber Motorsports Park opened in 2003 here in Birmingham, Alabama. 2.367 miles. It is a 16 turn facility, and
as we mentioned, this is round number 12, the final week of the iRacing calendar for 2021 Season 2. 24 laps will be the distance tonight. Cautions are local only and controlled by the iRacing platform. So there will be no restarts, no backup cars, no mistakes is what it boils down to here for the pilots of these PM18 machines. And tell you a little bit about them here as we're watching a couple of the cars get their qualifications underway. Manufactured by Tatus. These are Mazda-designed 2-liter engines, unbadged power plants, however. Making 275 horsepower. You guys know the drill on these cars. See them quite a bit here on the National Racing Network. And these are a ton of fun to watch here. And I'll tell you what here, James. A little bit lighter of a field than I might have expected to close out the season, but with championships wrapped up and all that kind of stuff, now we're just going to get to see almost an all-star exhibition race here. Frank Wynn completing his second qualification lap. Quick lap time, 1 minute 17.39 seconds. See what he's going to be able to do here on lap number 2. Don Rathburn, a name we haven't seen here yet in the broadcast races on the National Racing Network. He was second quick. As soon as we start to talk about the guy, he falls to third quick. 1 minute 18.15 seconds. Currently 1, 2, 3, 4 on the number plates are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 in qualifications. Here's Adam Wright, currently second quick. Mike Holler going to be third quick in the number 3 machine. Falling in behind those top 4 is going to be Scott Bradshaw, Simon Feld, John Cosgrove, and Shane Holstein. Jim Henley, Matthew Benjamin have not taken time yet. Everybody's setting some individual quick sectors here, but not enough to get back to the head of the charts here as we continue to follow along here with Mike Holler. And qualifying down to its last few seconds here. We'll see how many of the 10 actually take to the grid here. Checking in the comments, our buddy Sebastian Kinder did not have a real good night in the Ezra IndyCar race either here. Flying wheel taking him out of that race fairly early on here. Our buddy John Dinkle checking in. Commiserating with Sebastian here. Qualifications are going to wrap up here in just a couple of minutes anyway. Check in here with Scott Bradshaw as he makes his way down the front stretch and into turn number 1. And James, I'll tell you what, Barber is, it's part of the drinking game that they call it the Augusta National Motorsports, but this place is absolutely incredible. Up, down, over, around, through, fast corners, slow corners. It is everything a driver could want in a racetrack.
Oh yeah, this track is a blast. It's an absolute pain in my butt, but it's an absolute blast. If you can figure out where you need to turn, you're going to beat a lot of people, because that's one of the toughest things about this track is the blind corners. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've yeeted myself completely off the track because I had no idea where I needed to go.
And it is one of the things that makes this place difficult is it is fairly narrow. It was originally conceived more as a motorcycle track. But the full-size cars put on a heck of a show here as well. It becomes more about picking your spot to pass and really setting that up corners in advance.
Yeah, it really doesn't seem like it, but it's really kind of a rhythm track, especially with, you know, the chicane and that last little bit before the second sweeper. That's what really gets you, is the sweepers here, because you have there's so many different avenues you could take that it you really don't know what line will be the best. And unlike most sweepers where you kind of focus on one end of it and forget the other, you kind of have to set the car up for both of them. Like if you take a bad entry and sacrifice entry for corner exit, you're still going to be bad, and vice versa if you sacrifice corner exit for corner entry. So it really shows who can be good here.
Taking a look at the quick lap times, Frank Wynn going to be your quick timer, 1 minute 16.827 seconds. Adam Wright about a half second back, in fact 0.6 of a second back. Second quick. Mike Holler, Don Rathburn, Scott Bradshaw, your top 5, and definitely going to be a light grid here tonight. That is for sure. We wait for the rest of the lead cars to make their way onto the starting grid. Let's get you the starting lineup for tonight's race. Frank Wynn and Adam Wright will make up row number 1. Mike Holler, Don Rathburn in row number 2. Scott Bradshaw, Simon Fell will occupy the 3rd row. John Cosgrove and Shane Holstein in row number 4. Jim Henley and Matthew Benjamin in row number 5. Both of those cars electing not to set a time here. Unlike in some series, James, where you might see drivers decide to start from pit lane, with only 10 cars on the grid, it's really going to be go time right here from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, that's the sad thing is that participation for Barber really seems to be terrible. Like last season, I couldn't even find one to go official, so it's sad to see a smaller grid, but I suppose it can't be. I suppose it's not very surprising. So, yeah, with so little cars, you just kind of have no reason to not send it. I mean, you're not going to have to deal with too much traffic. So, yeah, I'd just say kind of start with everyone else and accept the Warriors' death if something does happen.
Yeah, that's right. Fields, one of the things here is this place is so darn quick. Turn 1 is a sharp left-hand turn. Leads into the big sweeping turn number 2. Turn 3, they've just come out of, is almost like the finale of turn 2 in some respects. You have a, I'll say, fairly short run down here into the hairpin. First of the hairpins, anyway. Then you're back on the throttle in a very big way here. Through turn 6, and then you get into the very quick downhill kink section. Almost a chicane, but you sort of have to straight line it as much as possible. This place is really very, very tricky to set a fantastic lap time.
Yeah, don't even get me started about the chicane.
Next up here for the cars is the quick left-right combination. Again, I don't know that you would call this a... It doesn't drive like a chicane, I'll say it that way. However, then you get to the second really difficult bit on the race course here. You start the run downhill, and then you're basically cornering until you get on the front straightaway again. I'm going to say hello to a new subscriber here, Denver Dubs. Thank you very much for checking this out. We appreciate it. Make sure everybody give the video a like and a share. Hopefully you enjoy the racing action coming up here. Up the hill to the penultimate corner. Then it spits you right back down the hill again. And as always, for the start of the finale to the PM18 season, this one is all yours, fans. Trouble for Adam Wright. Couple of cars getting involved back here. Simon Fell, Adam Wright, Don Rathburn, all having issues into the hairpin. We'll see how these cars are going to be able to recover. It doesn't look like there's a ton of damage there on Simon Fell's machine. Same is true for Adam Wright. He basically straight lined it. Oh, we've got more cars going around. Matthew Benjamin going to be involved there. We've got a big shakeup towards the back of the pack. Matthew Benjamin having to jump into the pit area. Get you the Hot Shoe Raceware instant replay here. Take a look and see what happened to Benjamin's machine. Oh, just big old Punterino from Jim Henley. Benjamin having to tow back to the pits. So let's reset things here at the front of the field. Frank Wynn will be your race leader. Not too far behind is Mike Holler. He's an even 1 second back. Scott Bradshaw already 3.6 seconds back here. He has a little bit of a left front lockup coming down through the chicane. And then you got to go another 4 seconds back to find John Cosgrove. Then you have Simon Fell and Adam Wright. Tell you what here, James, pretty exciting opening lap here.
Yeah, good gracious, so much chaos, so much death. I want to say I'm surprised, but given the nature of the circuit, I mean, heck, look at the Indy season premiere here. Even the pros cause massive amounts of carnage. So, yeah, this is completely what I was expecting.
Pick up the battle here is Don Rathburn going to look inside of Simon Fell down into turn number 1. He'll get the pass completed there. Set his sights on Adam Wright. Wright already working his way down the hill. Man, still seeing a little bit of a touch of oversteer there out of Rathburn's car. That, to me, I guess, James, would be one of the trickiest things here as we pick up race leader Frank Wynn. There is no corner on this racetrack or entry to a corner that is truly flat where you can get the car planted and ready to attack the corner.
Nope, you're pretty much on the ragged edge the whole place around, so you really can't rest up and take any sort of break here. You're always going to be on edge.
Frank Wynn holding on to the race lead. The gap 1.7 seconds back to Mike Holler, who runs in the second position, and it's a further 3.5 seconds back to Scott Bradshaw, who runs in third. Bradshaw making some inroads here into Holler's advantage. Frank Wynn picked up the first broadcast for the Indy Pro 2000 series, kicking things off at Watkins Glen. Can't believe that was 3 months ago now. Doing it with a little bit of help from some drivers having issues ahead of him at the front of the field. This time, the issues were all behind him. Pull up the season statistics here for you. Christoph Harbino should be your series champion, but the gap's only about 80 points back to Ann Medema in second. Connor Wagner, Mitch Green, and David Dendelo going to be your top 5. Everett Paddock, Frank Wynn, Emil Bernstorff, Fidel Fernandez, and Fabio Berchtold will be the top 10 in the point standings here. And I tell you what, James, it's almost beneficial that we didn't have a bigger field, because that first incident into the hairpin would have been an absolute mess with a deeper field.
Yeah, a field size what we've been used to seeing would have looked exactly like that IndyCar season opener. Yeah, we kind of lucked out with more isolated incidents and more cars being able to survive it. Otherwise, yeah, yeesh.
Already working lap number 5, so pretty close here to 25% distance completed. Adam Wright is eating into Scott Bradshaw's advantage for the final podium position, but the gap's about 8 seconds here for Wright. He was very quick, qualified on the outside pole. It's going to be a long road to hoe for Adam Wright if he's going to get caught up into a podium position here. You see, not too far behind is Don Rathburn running in the 5th position. John Cosgrove, Simon Fell, Jim Henley, and Shane Holstein going to complete the field here. Decent battle starting to shape up here between Henley and Holstein. Henley, the driver that made initial contact with Matthew Benjamin, getting him turned around. This fight, however, is going on about 35 seconds behind your race leader.
Yeah, with the smaller field, there's definitely a lot bigger pace discrepancy than we're used to in a regular SOF broadcast.
Yeah, that's one of the things, is that the strength of field time slots really rely on a very, very deep field and oftentimes multiple splits to score the big points here for these drivers. So Frank Wynn, so long as he's clean the rest of the way, will take the win with ease, but it will not be as big of a points gain as when you have some of the other bigger name drivers in the field with you. Wynn just setting a fastest lap time, 1 minute 17.11 seconds. Mike Holler running in second, 1 minute 17.72 seconds for his last lap. So losing about 0.6 that time by to Frank Wynn. I would almost imagine that this can get to be a little bit tricky as a driver, where you know you have a shallow field and now you've got a big gap. I would imagine just hitting the marks perfect every time can almost get tedious feeling.
Yeah, and when you're able to cruise like this, it's easy to kind of lose focus, and then out of nowhere you clip the grass and put yourself into the inside wall. So dominating is fun and it's easier in some respects, but yeah, sometimes you just rather have like 5, maybe 10-second gap to cruise home. But Frank Scott, Michael not far behind him, who's no slaps of his own. So yeah, Frank doesn't really have to deal with any of that.
There is a look at Mike Holler making his way through the hairpin. Barber Motorsports Park, also the home of one of the best collections of motorcycles you'll see anywhere in the world. Actually, the whole Barber Museum is pretty fantastic. But now at 1/3 distance here, and I mean, everybody is spread out. The closest fight on the racetrack going to be between John Cosgrove and Simon Fell. We'll pick up this fight as Cosgrove holds about an 0.8 of a second advantage over Fell. This final section turns 13, 14, and 15 to close out the lap. So incredibly difficult to master. It's an uphill set of corners and immediately dumps you back out downhill. And if you screw that up, the rest of your next lap is really kind of at least slowed down significantly because you have such a long run down into turn number 1.
Yeah, definitely. And like I was talking about earlier, it's really hard to figure out what line is going to be the best line through there.
They call that section of corners that we just saw John Cosgrove go through 7, 7A, 7B, 8, and 8A. Maybe an accurate description of it because it's not necessarily separate corners, but you almost have to treat it that way.
Oh, yeah. Multi-apex corners like that are such an absolute blast.
Do it downhill. It's almost like a mini version of the corkscrew at Laguna Seca where you're downhill transitioning side to side. Definitely a fun set of corners there. The other battle that we have potentially developing on the racetrack here is the fight for 4th between Adam Wright and Don Rathburn. The gap's 1.8 seconds as they come through that 7-8 complex. Tell you what here, James, as we pick up Frank Wynn. 1 lap ago, put up the best lap of the race, 1 minute 17.07 seconds. Scott Bradshaw running in second, his best lap, 1:18.01. The lap was actually the last lap, 1:17.44 for Wynn, 1:18.78 for Bradshaw. We very well could see Frank Wynn catch Jim Henley before this race is over. Henley currently sitting right about 58 seconds back of the race leader. Trouble on the racetrack for Mike Holler here. Take a look, see what happened to number 3 machine. There you go, James. Exactly what you talked about. So easy to make a tiny mistake, clip the grass, and that's all it takes there for Mike Holler to give up second to Scott Bradshaw. We'll pick up these two because the fight is on now. Oh, big moment there for Holler.
Yeah, what happened with Scott? Oh, yeah, he got on, Scott got on it a little too hard. Heck of a save to keep that car pointed the right direction, but yeah, that was definitely a Code Brown moment, and all Code Brown moments for Michael.
Oh, he's going to loop it again in turn
he didn't have much.
5. Trouble again for Scott Bradshaw. He's going to fall back to the 5th position. Goes from a top 2, top 3 finish to, in a very short hurry here. Almost like, James, it is so easy to do. You're upset, you get the red mist flowing, and the next mistake happens in very short succession.
Yeah, that really sets the great drivers from the decent ones and the okay ones and the absolute scrubs. You're gonna make a mistake. We're human. We screw up. Even Lewis screws up. The difference is, what do you do and after you screw up? Are you able to keep it from being a massive screw up? And are you able to get back in that zone, get yourself calmed down again, and continue back on like that mistake never happened? Scott did a great job to limit the damage of that mistake, but unfortunately, I don't think he was able to get himself back in that frame of mind that he needed to be and cause that second mistake.
Yeah, it's tough. You hate to see a driver make the little mistakes like that, but I'll tell you what, we're seeing a heck of a clinic being put on here by Frank Wynn at the front of the field. Second place, Mike Holler, also now long gone from third place running Adam Wright. In fact, there is not a close battle here on the racetrack. There's race leader Frank Wynn. The lead is 14 1/4 seconds over Mike Holler. Starting to catch up on 9th place running Shane Holstein. I would imagine that's the other thing that'll cause you a lot of stress is when running against a driver you might be unfamiliar with. Getting that pass of a lap car completed is not necessarily the easiest thing to pull off here, but well done there by Shane Holstein to clear out of the way pretty quick.
Yeah, that's classy driving. You'd love to see that.
So Frank Wynn working lap number 15. Holding on to that 13 and change lead over Mike Holler. Absolutely love the views here at Barber. This place is such a fun. This was one of those tracks that was even fun to build the camera setup for. All the different things that you could possibly look at. There you see the Barber Motorsports Museum in the background. Adam Wright.
This place is absolutely gorgeous.
Adam Wright holding on to third. A little bit of a battle going to start to develop here for, once again, the 6th place fight between John Cosgrove and Simon Fell. The gap down inside of 1 3/4 seconds. May not seem like much, but one, we'll take what we can get here, and two, one tiny mistake and 1 second goes away in a very, very quick hurry. The man is an absolute machine here at the front of the field. Working his way through lap traffic, Frank Wynn once again sets the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 17.06. It'll be 8 laps to go next time here for Frank Wynn. That's about the last of the lap traffic that he's going to encounter as well, as Simon Fell's about 37 seconds back. So don't necessarily see that one turning into a big fight here.
Yeah, Simon's pretty quick, but John just seems to be gapping him just that little bit.
Yeah, it's not much here. In fact, actually, last lap by, Simon was about a quarter of a second quicker, almost half a second quicker, in fact. It's just that when you're talking about a gap that's over 1 second, it feels like you're making little bits of ground. We may see this turn into a great fight with a lap or two to go. Gap is definitely closing here, and in fact, we can get you the lap times here up on the scoreboard. Simon Fell bettering John Cosgrove each of the last 4 laps and doing it by almost half a second each time, setting a personal best lap of the race at a 1:18.702. They're on lap number 16, and cue the Jaws theme because this fight is getting closer by the corner. Second place, Mike Holler clearing the lap car is Shane Holstein. See if Adam Wright's going to be able to gain any ground here. That fight well, it was starting to close in. Now it looks like third place running Adam Wright hung up a little bit here behind the lap traffic. Holstein clears out of the way. But the gap's still about 3 seconds now after that. I mean, just a little bit of a slow up here. So we'll come back, pick up this fight between John Cosgrove and Simon Fell. We work lap number 19 of the final race of 2021 Season 2. Pretty proud to announce we'll be back for 2021 Season 3. Thank you very much to Jason Owens and the whole community for getting that one organized. Definitely looking forward to it. Should see a Season 3 schedule here, I would say probably the middle of next week, but as soon as we saw the gap start to really close in here, John Cosgrove turns up the wick just a little bit, runs about a quarter of a second quicker than Simon Fell last time by. Lap number 20 goes up on the board. It's 5 laps to go for Frank Wynn. Show you the lap time difference here. Frank Wynn on lap 15 setting a fastest lap of the race, 117.057. A little bit slower there on lap 16, but I mean, just the consistency here, James, is pretty unreal for what we're seeing here out of Frank Wynn tonight.
Yeah, he's in the zone. He wants to show out, because I think if checking out the servers correctly, I think he Watt-spinned in the PRL race, so he wants to avenge that horribly embarrassing mistake.
How about 1:16.87 seconds for Frank Wynn? The lap times keep getting faster and faster for Frank Wynn. He's putting on a hot lapping course at this point here, and probably having a whole lot of fun behind the wheel doing it too. That last lap was almost 1 3/4 seconds faster than Mike Holler.
Yeah, that's just disrespectful. Because like, this is like back when with Lewis, where you know he's faster and he just keeps slapping you with stupid quick time after stupid quick time. Have we heard Frank complain about his tires yet? I feel like that's the only thing we're missing.
Yes, we are waiting to hear that his tires are dead. That's about what we would expect out of Frank Wynn at this point here. But I tell you what, everybody is still pretty well spaced out here. The gap in the fight for 6th shrinks inside of a second, opens back up outside of 1 second. So Simon Fell is definitely making ground up here on John Cosgrove, but it may not be enough, or at least too little too late here, because John's not exactly an easy guy to get around either, and we're down to just inside of a handful of laps to go. Going to be 2 laps to go here for Frank Wynn, your race leader. Quickly up through turn number 2. Back down through 3, the right-hand kink at turn 4. Short run down the straightaway to the hairpin at turn number 5. Snap bend through 6. That's one of those quick sweepers that you were talking about, James. Then down here through the twisty bits, turns 7, 8, 8A, 8B, 8 Zulu, whatever it is. And then you run down the hill here quickly to, I guess, the second chicane at turn number 9. Turns 9 and 10, I should say. Long run into turn number 11. Quick hook back around for 12. Keep the car turned, because you're going to be moving into turn number 13 and 14. Then a very quick left-hander will put you back on the front straightaway. White flag is out. 1 lap to go here for Frank Wynn, and trouble for Scott Bradshaw. Get you the quick hot shoe racewear instant replay here. Same little thing, just a little bit oversteer on corner exit, and no real loss there for Bradshaw, but pick things back up with race leader Frank Wynn. Already halfway home here at Barber Motorsports Park, a class in dominance. Trouble on the racetrack for Simon Fell. Get you the replay here quickly. Fell basically had caught up to John Cosgrove. Flips the grass, takes the nose off at Simon Fell. Going to finish in the 7th position tonight. Wrapping up his final lap out of the final corner. Checkered flag in the air. Frank Wynn picks up the victory here in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Simon Fell coming across the line there in the 7th position. Mike Holler comes across the line to claim 2nd. There's Adam Wright taking 3rd. 4th place, Don Rathburn coming across the line. And here's Scott Bradshaw. Even after the issues, he's going to come home with a top 5 finish tonight. Through the final corner is John Cosgrove. That will just about, anyway, wrap up all the cars that we're going to expect to see here coming across the start-finish line. Get you the final results for tonight's race. Frank Wynn, the victor by 17.964 seconds over Mike Holler. Adam Wright comes home 3rd. Don Rathburn 4th. Scott Bradshaw 5th. And John Cosgrove is your 6th place finisher. 1 lap down, Simon Fell, Jim Henley, and Shane Holstein. Matthew Benjamin rounds out the field. We'll take a look here, see if any of the drivers pop in for an interview here late in the race. But I tell you what, James, it's not often that we get to see an absolute clinic, but we got to see one here tonight.
Yeah, Frank just laid a beat down on everyone. I'm really in awe of what I saw tonight. That was just unreal.
Have our runner-up here who's going to come in and chat with us, Mike Holler. And Mike, congratulations on a very good 2nd place run here tonight. And unfortunately, I don't think anybody was going to be catching Frank.
He was fast out there today. Obviously, I tried to hang on a little bit at the beginning. It just didn't work out too well. And then you saw I was pushing too hard. It led to a bit of a spin. He's fast here. It's a tough track, roller coaster, and yeah, I need to put more practice in next time we come here.
It's interesting that you call the place a roller coaster because it's sort of what it feels like, where you're constantly up, down, changing directions, changing speeds. Definitely not just a physical challenge, but a mental challenge to a driver as well.
Yeah, I did the iRacing IndyCar series, the 75% Indy race here a couple months ago when it was when the actual IndyCars ran here, and that prepared me a lot for this one. It's exhausting doing this in an IndyCar, and in comparison, the Indy Pro 2000 feels very nice. I can actually think on the straights a little bit.
Well, it was a very good run for you and a heck of a way to close out the season, picking up a podium in one of the broadcast events. So congratulations on that. Who would you like to thank?
I thank you guys for keeping with us for this slot all season. Hope to have you guys around next season too. I think we've got fundraising in the works for it. It's just thanks everyone who came and participated. I don't know if you guys know, but the Indy Pro 2000 series is up 45% participation this season, and that's an incredible number. Really excited to have that and have so many more people enjoying this car.
Yeah, this car is one of the fun ones on the service, that's for sure. And quite frankly, one of the best oval cars here, too. It doesn't get nearly enough credit for that either. But congratulations, like we said, on the podium. And we're looking forward to talking to you again in a couple of weeks here.
I sure hope to. Thank you.
So let's pick up our race winner, Frank Wynn. I would say I don't know where to start here, but it was very un-Canadian of you to beat up on everybody this way.
Yeah, it's I didn't mean to, but it just turned out that way. I was actually kind of worried about spinning it coming to the green. I had a league race earlier today, and I did just that coming out of the green. So I just didn't want to do that, and it was just set sail from there.
It was really impressive looking at the lap time data where you were progressively getting quicker and quicker, where everybody else seemed like they were encountering either rear tires overheating, front tires overheating, whatever it was, a lot of self spins. How difficult was it to keep the car in line and keep clicking off fastest laps the way you were?
Yeah, it's really hard. Today was the first time I was on the track this week, so I spent pretty much 3 hours just learning the track, hitting my marks, and once I got into the rhythm, it was just a matter of hitting the same marks over and over again, and just getting, when you're in front in the clean air, it's a lot easier to keep track of your marks and keep hitting them.
Well, you got the first broadcast win at Watkins Glen earlier in the season. Fantastic run all season long. It's been a pleasure to have you on the broadcast with us. Who would you like to thank?
Oh, I would love to thank the Indy Pro 2000 community managers for organizing everything. This is, in my opinion, the best car in the service, and along with that, the best community in the service. And Jason Owens, especially, this season he paid out of pocket for the Thursday night broadcast. So big ups to him. Everyone really appreciates getting the visibility of this car out there. And also like to thank my main sponsor. It's an in-development game called Eurogoner. It has a really dedicated two-man dev group. So yeah, shout out to them if any of those guys in those Discord is watching. Hope I made you boys proud. And thanks to you, Chris, for broadcasting. Of course, the broadcasts, they really tie the community together. Really appreciate it. Thanks for doing all this.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. And there you go. Make sure you check it out. The livery is spectacular. You're a goner on the side of that one. And let's pick up our third place finisher here, Adam Wright. Adam, same livery as Frank Wynn. Team cars here and a couple of podiums tonight. Not a bad night for that little race team of yours.
Yeah, it went pretty well. Other than my little spin on the first lap, it was a good race.
Was that just a matter of overcooking the corner on cold tires? Or, I mean, with a shallower field, you're dealing with maybe a little bit less depth at the back, but you're still going to have a big fight there into that corner.
Yeah, I think right before this race, I was running in the PRL league. So the starting fuel was a little bit higher in the official race, and the track temps were a lot hotter in our league race earlier. So I think I was just not adjusted to the cold track and full tank of fuel, so that once it got a little bit sideways, it just completely went around.
Very nice recovery drive to pick it up into a podium position tonight, and not a bad way to finish out the season. Build yourself up a little momentum as we head into the off week.
Yep, for sure.
All right, Adam. Well, congratulations on the podium. Who would you like to thank?
I want to give a shout out to Frank. We were teammates in that PRL league that I mentioned, and it was a good season. We had some good races. So thanks to him.
Oh, there you go. There's Adam Wright, your third place finisher this evening here. And James, I think we're going to wrap up the coverage here with that. And this one was a fun race. As much as its dominance and we saw Frank run away with it, sometimes you just kind of have to sit back and go, wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of outright action on the track, but you can't help but be in awe of the absolute beatdown that Frank put on them. I mean, he's one of the best in the world in this car, and gracious, did he show it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we will wrap up our coverage here from Barber Motorsports Park. This one's been a whole lot of fun to bring to you this season. We will enjoy the off week, but we will see you back here in 2 weeks for 2021 Season 3. For James Watson and everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name's Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have you with us this season. We will talk to you tomorrow night from Linda's Speedway. Sunday night, the High Slide Cup Series continues their season as well, so don't miss any of that action. But until then, we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night, everybody.